morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to get started just like usual. Okay, so we're going to lengthen through our spine, seated or standing. Okay, and starting with this chin tucks back for 10. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, keeping that length in the spine. Head turns for 10, 5 each side. Here we go. Turn, back to center. Turn, that's 2. Turn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so either seated or standing, we're going to do cat-cow for 10 now. So if you're seated, edge of chair, feet a little bit wider, hands on the end of the thigh here as we curl and untuck, okay? Or you can rest your palms on the chair here like so, 90-degree bend through the hip, and we're going to curl and untuck for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Last exercise, warm-up exercise for reps. We're going to do our hip circles. So feet are wider than shoulder width apart. Same if you're seated. If you're seated, it's just more of your upper body moving here. If you're standing, it's your hips kind of pushed back and around. We're going to do 5 each direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. One more this direction. And 5. Now let's reverse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, going into Tabata next. Remember, that's our 4-minute block. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds of transition. Still with 2 exercises here. It's just like last week. Okay, so we're going to do jack press. Okay. All right, so raising the roof here. Okay, and then we are doing our hamstring curls and our pull back. Okay, so really warming up the knees, the hips, the shoulders. All right, trying to get that heart rate elevated slightly here, body temperature up. Turn my ceiling fan on, excuse me. Okay, so that is going to be 20 seconds. All right, and jack press you can do from your seated position right here. Okay. All right, let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. So we've got those jumping jack legs. You can always do the heel out here too. And remember, this is all about you finding your rhythm and your pace for your unique body, okay? You want to challenge yourself, but time. But you don't want to push yourself past it where it should be. Okay, ham curl and pull back, begin. So seated, you can do this seated too. You're just tapping the toes back, sitting closer to the front of the seat. Some little room for those toes to go back. Two and 1, okay? As our body warms up more and more, we have 3 more rounds. You can see if you can push it a little bit further without overdoing it, okay? Jack press, begin. So remember, you can tap those toes out or do the heels. I do like the heels. It slows you down a little bit, but I really like getting into that glute medius. Feel a nice little stretch through the inner thighs too. Time. Back to hand curl with the pull back. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Warming up the joints. So we got shoulders, knees, and ankles moving here. Elbows too. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, halfway. Back to jack press. It's okay to feel a little bit of breath here. Okay, we are trying to elevate that body temperature, heart rate. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, back to hand curl and pull back. Deep breaths in between. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, one more time for each of these. Okay, so final round of our jack press coming up. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Final round of our hand curl pullback. 2, 1. Here we go. We're going to break after this. Your first Tabata finished. Hopefully you can feel that intensity round for round, that body temperature increasing. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. Woo, nice work. All right, hopefully you feel just a little bit of heavier breathing, okay? Gonna recover, get a drink. Remember, no matter what, if you need a drink, just stop and take a drink. Okay? 45-15, just like last week. Reverse lunges, okay? Holding onto the back of the chair, one arm on the side of the chair, or no chair, or you're alternating seated leg press is number 1, okay? Squats are number 2, okay? If you're comfortable, we're gonna hold a weight, okay? You're gonna hold it up here, and we're just gonna squat without the chair, all right? Okay? Okay, or we're gonna do seated leg press. Next one is curl press. Or remember those wall push-ups we did the other day? Last week, if you know that was a good option for you, where you can come up against the wall, okay, and you can press into the wall. Okay, so that's another option for you, okay? Yeah, that's it. Good. You're thinking of planking. You're thinking of keeping your core tight, your glutes tight as you lower towards the wall, and then exhale, press away, okay? Grapevine, hinge and row, sit, squat, and press. Bicep curl march. Not done with these yet. I really like these. And then our hinge ITY, okay, with the thumbs up here, okay? T and Y, okay? Round 1, I am going to do seated, and then for the second 2 rounds, I'll stand. So we are starting with our alternating lunges or alternating seated leg press, okay? Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So I am seated variation, so I'm towards the edge of my chair, scooped back slightly here so that I can pick that knee up and then press that heel out, right? I'm pressing something heavy away. create that tension in your legs. If you're seated here with me, that there's some heavy object you have to move, okay? Lunging, remember the quality of your reps, okay? And if you feel like you're losing your footing, maybe count it out. It's 4 counts, all right? To step it back, to lower down, to elevate, and to return. 3, 2, and 1. Next, we have our goblet squat. So if you have a weight, you can do this body weight too and just put your hands like this, okay? You're gonna go ahead and have your feet about shoulder width apart, okay? And you're gonna squat it down. Here we go. I'm seated, so I'm doing my alternating leg extension here, okay? If you're seated with me, keep that foot flexed and really focus on when you're extended straight here, the top of the leg, okay? When we squat, we get a lot of the quadricep and the glutes. So you can see how our seated leg extension with that flexed foot helps transfer into the quads here, and how it's comparable to a standing squat. Curl to press or our wall push-up is next. 3, 2, and 1, okay? So curl to overhead press. Okay, I'm gonna keep that neutral grip here, so my knuckles are gonna stay facing either side the whole time for a curl and a press, or give me that wall push-up, okay? Here we go. Good. We have 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to grapevine. 3, 2, and 1, okay? Seated, we're gonna do 2 lateral taps before we switch, just in case anyone is new here. Grapevine. Okay, so step, back, step, tap, step, back, step, tap. Okay, here we go. I'm seated this round, so I'm gonna tap. I like throwing this movement in between. I feel like it gives us an opportunity to let the work that we just did sink in, the weighted work that we just did. Because after this, we're going back to the weighted work and we're going to our hinge and row, okay? 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and time. Okay, hinge and row is next. Okay, so remember now, our feet are underneath the knees, toes are forward. We push the hips back, pushing the hips back. Lets our spine lean forward, row it, and then squeeze the glutes and hamstrings to lift, okay? Here we go. So this is the opposite of our squat, our hinge pattern here. Both the squat and the hinge target the glutes. However, what really sets them apart is the squats target more of the hamstring, or I'm sorry, the quadricep, the front of the leg, while the hinge targets more of the hamstring, which is the back of the leg, okay? So that's really the main difference, and your focus you should think of that when you're doing the move, you know, what your target muscle groups are. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, moving right along, we have our sit, squat, and press now, okay? So I'm gonna have my weights on either side here as I go ahead and I sit it down and then drive it up, okay? So, or you could use one dumbbell here too. So I'll demonstrate that. If 2 feels like too much, I'm gonna demonstrate with the seated what one dumbbell looks like, okay? Or if going overhead is very difficult for you, you could even do like a 45-degree diagonal forward. You see that? With one dumbbell here. So overhead is very challenging. Sometimes our range of motion is limited, and that's okay. You're going to work within your limitations, okay? So that might look like that 45-degree. Make sure your glutes are engaged when you're going into your overhead press. And time. Okay. Bicep curl march is next. Remember, nice little pause, okay? Really trying to teach our body to respond to having to stay still, okay, in that balanced pose. Okay, so pause. You just pause long enough just to feel that you have control on that foot, right? You feel that, that's your core bracing right there, okay? You might feel all those little ankle, those little muscles in your ankle, those little receptors stabilizing there. So healthy for ankle strength. And a nice deep exhale, okay? That gets our deepest set of core muscles when we use our breath as part of our muscle contraction. Let's add exercises 2 and 1. All right, final one in round 1 is our ITY hinge with our thumbs up. Or if you're strong enough and you don't have neck issues, maybe a 1 pound pair of dumbbells, okay? Here we go, we're gonna hinge, thumbs come up to I, thumbs come out to T, thumbs come up to Y, and then come back up from your hinge, right? I, T, Y, back up. And up. Think about how we're working the back of the shoulder and upper back here. And up and time. Okay, that's round 1. Right back to round 2. So I'm going to move to standing now, but please stay seated if that's best for you. We're starting with lunges, alternating, okay? So, or your seated leg press, okay? So, you may not need the chair at all. You might just knowing it's there in case you need to, you know, we're all prone to lose our balance a little bit here or there. So it's rest assuring to know you have something to hang on to if that should happen. Down, drive it up, return. So remember, in that front foot, you should be pressing through the heel. That heel should be really digging into the ground to lift you up. If you find your heel is popping off the floor, you're going to have to make some adjustments to your step. Okay, here we go. Curl to press, or you can do a wall push-up. All right. Woo. Here we go. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's squat. Squat. I'm looking at the wrong one, guys. So here we go. Down, drive it up, or you're doing your alternated seated leg extension. So see how this differs from our hinge? Our chest stays a little more upright, right? It's not like we're taking a bow, right? And that's what helps us getting into the quadriceps more. So I drive down, press my heels up, I squeeze my glutes, and I'm squeezing here. Show you that movement from the side, because you always see my hinge from the side. So my head is more upright. Instead of looking at the floor, I can still see the wall in front of me. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're curl to press or a wall push-up, okay? And in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Curl, press, bring it back. My glutes are engaged and tucked. I don't want any excessive curving or arching through the lower back that could cause some discomfort. So squeezing my glutes helps keep that nice and stabilized. Halfway. Keeping that neutral grip the whole way. Good, we're almost there. We have 5 more seconds here. And then we're going to shake all that workout we just did with the grapevine. 2 and 1. Okay, so either that or your seated lateral 2 taps on each side, alternating. Get your drinks of water as you need it. We start in 5, 3, 2. Here we go. All that muscle work we did in those first 3 moves, we can kind of let assimilate now as we shake it out with our grapevine. And it's fun, you know? A little stretch through the hip flexors, maybe the front of the shoulders too. Good for our cognitive health too, to do these a little more complex movement patterns. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and time. Okay. Back to our weights. Hinge and row. Okay, so now the difference between that and our squat is the hips push back and we move forward. Now I'm looking at the floor, right? Here we go. We're gonna hinge, give a row, and now drive through the heels to stand up. Squeezing the glutes. Working our back, our lat muscles, our hamstrings, and our glutes. So this is called a posterior, meaning the back, posterior chain combination here. All 3 of these movements, 2 rather, work the back side of the body. 2 and 1. Okay. Back to a squat pattern here. We're going to sit, squat, and press. You can either do 2 dumbbells on either side, 1 dumbbell, and remember you can do a 45. If straight up overhead is hard, go forward. Okay, here we go. I'm about shoulder width apart. I'm going to drive it down, sit it down, drive it up, press it. Right? When you're coming up here, you're thinking of the glutes engaging. And then once you're standing, you're thinking of the shoulders for the press. So this gets us a little bit deeper into our squat than our first set of squats. And it also helps really reinforce proper technique. Okay, 2 and 1. Okay, next one, bicep curl march. All right, back to a single leg movement. Here we go. Seated or standing, 2 and 1. Nice deep exhale. See if when you're exhaling on one leg, if you can feel your stomach pull back. And you feel the belly button kind of pull back towards your spine, simply through your exhale. The deeper you feel that, that means the stronger that mind muscle connection is in your core. Okay? Don't whoop. Don't be discouraged if you can't feel it right away. It's practice, right? It's focus and consistency, okay? That gets you there. Time. All right, last one. ITY with the hinge, thumbs up, okay? Again, if you're advanced and you're strong, you don't have neck issues or anything, a 1 pound pair of dumbbells can be suitable here as well, okay? Here we go. Otherwise, stay body weight. Thumbs up to I. Thumbs up to T. Back up. middle back here. As well as shoulder health and range of motion and mobility. Okay. We're almost done this, and we're going to go through one more time. So we're back to lunges next. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Get a drink. We're going right back to lunges. We're seated leg press. Okay, this is our final round. In 3, 2, and 1. Go through your range of motion with your lunges. And remember, how is your footing? When you're stepping back for your lunge, make sure you're not stepping back directly in front of the other foot. You want to have a little space in between the legs here for stability and balance, okay? Ten more seconds, and then we're done with lunges. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. We're done with lunges, but we're not done with legs. We're going to squats next, okay? So either body weight, or you can hold a weight right at your chest here. Feet are about shoulder width apart, toes slightly out, okay? And here we go. We're going to sink it back, drive through the heels up, okay? Sink it back, squeeze the glutes, quadriceps, okay? Connect your mind to those areas of the body and tell it to engage. Remember, if you're seated, you're doing your alternating leg extension with the flexed foot. Exhaling as I drive up. We've got 10 more seconds here. And then we're going to go to curl to press or a wall push-up. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. As that fatigue accumulates, you might notice you feel a little hotter, a little more thirsty. Okay, so adjust as need be. Okay. Here we go to curl to press or wall push-up. My glutes are engaged to prevent any excessive curving in the lower back. Okay, helps keep that strong base of support, right? Maintaining that neutral grip through both movements. Going to grapevine next. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, excellent. Grapevine. All right. So, or your lateral taps. And even same here, if you're like feeling like you're not getting the grapevine, just step together, step, tap. You just come back and forth for 2 steps. All right, here we go. But have fun with this, put your own flavor into it, you know, make it your movement, like find joy in it, you know, just have fun with it and shake out the controlled work we just did that really, you know, we're focusing on muscle contractions and everything. Let it all shake out here. Ten more seconds here, and then we go into our final set of hinge and row. 3, 2, and time. Okay. Whew. All right. Picking up our weights again. Okay. Feet are coming underneath the hips. Toes are facing forward. Okay. It's a narrow stance. All right. Now remember, here we go. We're going to push our hips back and our spine stays nice and neutral. So our head we end up looking at the floor when we do that. Hips come back, throw it. And then we squeeze the glutes and hamstrings up. 15 more seconds here. Squat and press is next. Sit, squat, and press. 3, 2, and time. Okay. So either 2 weights or just 1 right here. Okay. With full sit, squat, and press, or you're going to do an alternating leg extension and press. Remember, you can take it to that 45 right here if overhead hurts. Okay, here we go. Squat. So my heels are about shoulder width apart. Toes ever so slightly facing outward. So additionally, you can see the difference in the stance here for our hinge, where our legs are closer together underneath the hips. Driving it up, squeezing, and then pressing. Bicep curl and march is next. 3, 2, and time. Okay, bicep curl and march is next. Starting to feel that heat. I'm sweating a little bit here. Okay, final set of these. Seated or standing. 2, and 1. Really nice and focused. Really be aware of your body. Slowing it down. We have Tabatas coming up, so take it nice and slow here and really feel. 15 more seconds. Two, and time. Excellent. ITY with our hinge. Okay, thumbs up. Or if you're advanced and you don't have neck issues, you may want to use a pair of 1-pound dumbbells, okay? So again, our feet are back underneath our hips, toes are forward for a hinge. We're going to hinge it down, looking at the floor, thumbs up to I, thumbs out to T, and thumbs up to Y, and then complete your hinge, squeezing your glutes up. Again, is good for shoulder health and posture. We're working your upper and middle back here. We're all done our 45, 15 after this. We just have about 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and time. Excellent. Okay, so let's pause here. It's 24 minutes of work right there. Plus our 4-minute Tabata, plus our mobility exercises in the beginning. We have 8 minutes left total, okay, with 2 more Tabatas. We're gonna keep it just like last week, okay? So we're gonna do the lateral tricep extension jacks, okay? So you're coming right, I really wanna try to make sure, like if you notice your elbows going down here from fatigue, now of course if you have neck strain or it's hurting, you know, shake it out, okay? Don't hurt yourself in the process, but you're trying to make sure this elbow stays right up in line with the shoulder, okay? So it's gonna give you a little bit of isometric work here. And you're also, by lengthening and strengthening the elbow, we're pre-fatiguing the tricep back here, okay? So I'm gonna do the flexed foot variation because I really do like how it gets in there, but you can always tap it, okay? And you can do this seated too, okay? Our second one, still, we're gonna add weight now. And we're going to do the triceps from this direction, okay? We're really going to try to feel those triceps work as we tap back, okay? All right, so there are 2 Tabata moves, okay? And we're also getting the glutes and hip extension in both of those too. So starting with our lateral tricep extension jack combination in 3, 2, and 1, okay? Remember, just 20 seconds here. So this is a nice little pre-fatigue for the triceps here, where we add weight. It's coordination too, right? And core stability and time, okay? Grab your weights. Ever so slight hinge right here, all right? Here we go. We're gonna tap that, extend. Think of that muscle contraction in the triceps. Don't go so heavy with your weight that you can't feel the contraction, the mind muscle contraction. Sometimes if it gets too heavy and time, we start recruiting other muscle groups we're not really intending to, okay? Back to that first exercise. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Two and 1. Grabbing our weights. All right. Ever so slight hinge here if you're standing. And here we go. And if you're seated, you're just tapping those toes back from a seated position and doing the same with the arms here. Every time my arms are extended, I'm really focused on talking to my triceps. Okay, time. All right, so I'm really trying to make sure I feel it's squeezed. All right, top around 3. Here we go. Really looking forward to doing this combination again today. I enjoyed it last week and I'm doing it again this week like this. 2 and 1. Woo. Back to those weights. Bottom of round 3 and 3, 2 and 1. Tap it back and kick back. Squeeze, squeeze, okay? Think about the contraction. 3, 2, and 1. One more time through of those 2 exercises, all right? 3, 2, and 1. Final set of each for this one. Woo. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Final set of our kickbacks with the tap backs, okay? And 3, 2, and 1. Let's finish it off. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Okay. That's the bottom 2 right there. Now we've got one more to go through. So go ahead and recover, get a drink. Our last one. Still that slip rope squat. Okay, I like this one because it really does elevate our heart rate. I think it's a good one to end on. All right, so we've got that imaginary rope. We've got to go under and over, under and over, under and over. If that feels like too much for today, okay, you can grapevine again, or you can lateral 2-step, okay? And if you're seated, you're doing your wide legs here, okay? And it's the upper body going under and over, okay? And that feels great on the lower back. So if you need a little bit of a stretch and you're not looking for the intensity, you might want to opt for this one as a cooling down before we start our little cool down, okay? And then our second one is high knees. If you want to give me a little twist, you'll get into those obliques a little more too, okay? Or you can just keep them straight up, okay? Or you can pull down, okay? So, you know, let's figure out what you feel like doing there, okay? And seated, same thing, okay? Okay? All right, here we go. Slip rope squat in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Under and over. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, those knee highs are next. All right, you can do the oblique twist here, or you can pull down. All right, here we go. You can even combine the two. Yeah, I like that. All right. The more joints in your body you have moving, the more you're going to pull your heart rate up, okay? Because the more muscles have to work. 2 and 1. Woo. That's round 1. 3 more of those, okay? Remember, about 1 to 10, a 7 or an 8 is acceptable, as long as you don't feel icky, okay? Here we go. Take a breather if you do. But don't be afraid to push yourself and find a little bit of discomfort if you feel confident and healthy. You know, some days we don't feel as good as others, so, you know, use your good judgment. Time, okay. Back to those knee highs. I'm gonna stick with that pull down and kind of twist here. You can take the twist out if you need to, okay? Here we go. You take the twist out, might look more like this. Okay? So you do what feels right for you. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Halfway. Okay? Feeling it. Slip rope squat. Top of round 3. Ready? And begin. Under and over. Find your particular rhythm, your unique body. 2 and 1. Knee highs. Feel my heart rate up. 3, 2, and 1. If you need to take the arms out right now, if you feel a little too elevated, if you feel like you're creeping to a 9 or a 10 on that scale, take the arms out. Gotta be less joints moving, means less muscles working, means your heart rate won't be up as high. 2, 1, okay. One more time, all right, one more time. Deep breath, slip rope squat, 3, 2, and 1. If you're feeling good right now, give it all you got. This is your last 20 seconds for each movement, okay? If you feel good, go for it. 3, 2, time. All done with those. Now we have our knee highs for the final time. Ready? And begin. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and time. Woo! We did it. Woo! Oh, get a drink, recover. Okay, let our heart rate come down here. Oh, got a nice little, feel like I'm glistening right now. Nice work, guys. So just let it come down a little bit. And then when you're ready, let's start with, you can be seated or standing for this. Let's start with our upper body stretches, our neck and trap. Okay, so you should feel a nice gentle pull right through the side here. Okay. Nice big inhales and exhales. Bring that heart rate back down. You can either stay right here, or if you feel like you've got some good mobility, you can kind of bring your elbow to a bend. All right, and you'll just feel that stretch intensify a little bit here. That's totally optional. We'll do it if it's too much. Okay. Remember, when we stretch, we're not looking to stretch to this like point where we're tense. We're actually trying to just relax into it, right? Like turn the muscles off when we're stretching. That's how you really loosen up the muscle, okay? Not by forcing it, right? All right, if you're here, you can release that arm and then release the head. Same thing other side. Let's just start here. I'm gonna get used to the stretch, all right? And then you can either just stay here or add that knuckle to the back there. And you might find it works on one side, not the other. That's, you know, hey, we're not symmetrical. You know, as much as we try to make that, you know, we wear and tear on our body in different ways. So. Breath. And if you're here, you go ahead and release that arm from that elbow in bed, and then release the head there. Good. All right, let's go ahead and take an arm and bring it across the chest. Okay, I'm thinking of keeping it down. So if you feel like your ear and your shoulder are like creeping up, like pull that down, right? And across. All right, we're stretching up. And think of this space right here in between your back, where your spine and the wing of your shoulder blade is. Think of it stretching back there, as well as you might feel it through here. Okay. And nice deep breaths. Again, just trying to relax everything, right? Excellent. Let's release that side and do the same thing on the other side. So just do a little self-aware check. Am I squeezing and scrunching up? If so, think, okay, flip down and over. All right. Visualize that lengthening between the spine and that shoulder blade. Breathe. Excellent. Let's release that. Let's go to the back of our chair here, okay? Do a forward fold, all right? So I'm bringing my hips down to 90. I'm trying to bring my arms up directly in line with my ears here, all right? Feeling this stretch through. I'm not locking my knees out, but my legs are relatively straight, you know? And I'm feeling the stretch through my shoulders and the back of my legs. You can kind of rock your hips from one side and feel how the stretch pulls in one side of the body and then to the other, and feel how it lengthens the other side. Okay, you can just gently and methodically kind of sway back and forth and enjoy it. Okay, trying to relax here. Good. Maybe sway one more time on each side, and then come back to center. And then very slowly walk your feet back up towards the chair to standing. Okay. And let's do our last stretch. Let's do our inner thighs and outer thighs for these two. So I'm going to do the seated variation today, where I bring one knee to 90, the other one I'm extending long. I'm closer to the edge of my chair, and my foot is flexed. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, my foot is flexed. Okay. And I'm searching, okay? Everybody's body's different again. So searching, trying to feel the opening of the groin and hip flexor here. Gently leaning forward, okay? Good, so kind of this whole inner thigh area. And then the same thing other side, okay? So now this knee is at 90. I'm extending my other leg straight. If you can flex your foot, it might feel a little challenging. And you might have to bring this foot out further for stability too, if right in front. And you're trying to search for that stretch right through your inner thigh here, leaning forward. I'm just holding on to the sides of my chair. Right. And gonna come back to center. All right, so we got the inside. Now we're gonna do the outside. So you're gonna take one foot, figure four, keep this foot flexed, okay? Tall through my spine. And remember, I'm trying to get this area of my hip move right here. So we're just gonna gently lean forward. It's not a huge range of motion. You should feel that stretch, without trying to bring your hands down towards your shins or anything like that. Again, just breathe into it. I am lengthening through my spine slightly. Excellent. And let's release that side. And cross the leg. I'm going to take my other foot, bring it right on the end of the thigh there. Flex this foot, lengthen through the spine, and then gently just lean it forward and boom. I mean, I probably move 1 to 2 inches and I feel that stretch. It's not a huge range of motion forward just to get into that, which is nice. It's nice that it doesn't take too much. Excellent. Come on out of that. Let's go ahead and take 2 deep breaths. We're going to inhale. Exhale, palms to heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Palms to heart. All right, guys. Another Tuesday in the books.